welcome back to my channel. My name is Betha. I'm really glad to have you here. Please do hit the subscribe button before you leave, and also give this video a very big thumbs up at the end if you enjoyed watching it. Okay, yes, I know this is a different setup. I just got tired of staying in my room today, and I'm like, you know what, let me just film in this part of my house. I'm sure some of you know this background, but not everybody knows it. I have a lot of new subscribers, so yeah, this is another part of my house where I get to film sometimes. Okay, anyways, let's get into the business of tonight, guys. I have a lot to tell you people. Now let's start off with the evictions. Yeah, it's no more news that Kaisha already left the house. I made a post on my community page. I always say you guys should keep up with me on my community tab, because I post things there, especially when they're like emergencies and all of that stuff. I try to put them up on my community tab. So yeah, Kaisha is out of the house. Sadly, she was the only person that left Biggie's house today. Now we had 4 housemates that were up for possible eviction today. They included Kaisha, Watoni, Tricky T, and Neo. Yes, Neo was on the list today, and of course all the other housemates were in shock. Like, what? Neo on the list? I'm like, you guys don't know anything. You think you came to Biggie's house to come and be playing and be doing my best friend, you know, my best friend's Bobo, my Bobo's best friend? Doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm going to really tell you guys what I feel about this whole eviction thing and all. I feel like Biggie needs to change the whole eviction process. I don't understand why Kaisha had like the highest votes out of the 4 people that were up, and she was the one that had to leave because it was now placed in the hands of the other housemates. Obviously these housemates are not thinking straight, because if you're thinking straight, you'll be taking out your competition and not keeping your friends because, oh, they're my friends. And I feel like that's what they're doing. I keep saying it, a lot of them have lost sight of the reason they're in Biggie's house. They feel like they're there to just meet new friends, bond, and do all of that stuff. It's a game. You should be taking out your competitions and not people you feel like, oh, I'm not really close to this person, I'm not really close to that person. And I feel like that was exactly what happened tonight. A lot of the housemates do not really vibe well with Kaisha, so it wasn't really strange to me when they said Kaisha had to leave the house. And I knew for sure that if they had asked 2 people to leave, Watoni would have been the second person to leave, because again, a lot of them do not like her as well. They just act like, oh yeah, we like her, but then they don't. And I just feel like the whole thing is becoming really boring, because you tell us, oh, you are in charge, you know, you vote for the favorite housemate, keep them in the house, and then when we do that and let you know the people we want to leave the house, you now then put it in the hands of the housemates. It doesn't make sense to me. If that's how it's going to be, then there's no point wasting votes, you know, because at the end of the day, the votes are almost useless. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but just let me know what you think about this whole eviction process. Do you think Biggie needs to change it, or do you think it's okay the way it is? Just let me know your thoughts. Okay, now let's take it back a little bit here. Before the evictions actually took place, 1 hour before the eviction took place, Biggie called the housemates into the lounge, and of course I knew he wanted to address the Nengi and Kaisha situation. Now when the housemates gathered in the lounge, Biggie played the clip of Nengi and Kaisha actually having their heated argument and all of that, and you know, at some point he told the both of them to stand up, you know. So me, I was expecting that, okay, matters come to worse, he's going to give one person a strike, or better still give the 2 of them strikes, because at the end of the day 2 of them just they shout on top of each other's face and all of that. So I just felt like, you know, that was probably what was going to happen, because judging by the previous seasons and all of that, you could tell that things like this gets Biggie provoked, and you know, he just goes the extra mile of giving strikes or just giving them warnings and all of that. So I knew that something was coming, and then he was like, okay, instead of just addressing Nengi and Kaisha, he felt like it was really important for him to address all the other housemates that had a fight. So he called Erica up, he called Lucy up, and he called Watoni. So the 5 of them were standing, that's inclusive of Kaisha and Nengi. And he now quoted the section of his rule book that said no shoving, no throwing of any item and all of that stuff. You're allowed to express yourselves verbally, but then there's no touching, no pushing and all of that. So in my mind I'm like, okay, what is going to happen to Nengi? Because of course we all saw it clearly that Nengi shoved Kaisha. You know, I know that Kaisha was also in her face and all of that, but I just felt like she was in your face. You could have as well just been in her face without shoving her and all of that, but you shoved her. The girl was smart enough to put her hands behind her back, but then again, it's Biggie's house, Biggie's rules. But at the end of the day, he just gave all of them warnings and told them that this will be the last time he'll call them together to warn them. You know, whoever else offends and does all of that stuff, they might get something worse than even a strike. So I really don't know what Biggie means by that. But then again, I just feel like the next time he's going to call for such meeting, somebody might probably get disqualified. I really don't know, because Biggie is not predictable. You know, he says A today, tomorrow he's changing it to Z. So guys, just let me know in the comment section what you were expecting from Biggie. Were you expecting him to give them a warning, or were you expecting him to give them a strike? Because at this point I feel like the whole judgment wasn't balanced. Okay, I feel like it wasn't balanced, because again, if you take it back to them Chloe's turn and all of that, yeah, when Chloe had a fight with K. Brulee, it wasn't even a fight. You know, they were exchanging words, they were saying really deep words and all of that. There was no shoving and all of that, yeah. But then the judgment wasn't just a warning, so I don't understand why Biggie is throwing in this line. I really cannot explain it. Again, it's none of my business. Whatever Biggie says is what happens. It's his house. Isha cannot come and evict me from my own house. I did my own house. If to say carry me put for a house, then yes, he has the right to either evict me, give me a strike, give me a warning, or whatever else he wants to do with me and all of that. So yeah, that's aside. Now fast forward to when the eviction show started and all of that, yeah. Ebuka obviously had a chat with Lucy, he had a chat with Nengi, he had a chat with Kaisha, and he had a chat with Erica. Now for Erica and Lucy, just wanted more clarity on their fight, you know, the whole neck thing and head thing of, you know, this one being the neck and that one being the head. He just wanted to understand the dynamics and just how they felt about it. Lucy went on to explain that it was just a joke, she didn't mean it as an insult, but clearly Erica took it the other way around and all. Now for Erica, she mentioned that she didn't really see it as a joke, and that's why she had to go and have a conversation with Lucy, but then that Lucy is fond of trying to call other people into the conversation. She went to meet Lucy, and then Lucy was involved in Kidwaya, so she didn't really understand why Lucy did that. But then for her, they are good, and then Ebuka was like, for now, because you know anything can happen. She was like, oh yeah, we are good, we talked about it. In fact, Lucy made my hair today, so I'm like, okay, cool, there's peace between these two people for now. Okay, I like that word, for now, because anything can change in Biggie's house. Right now, it was time for Nengi and Kaisha to give us more clarity on what happened yesterday. I know I mentioned to you guys that it was because of boiling water. I wasn't wrong, okay? Kaisha explained again to Ebuka that she really wanted to boil water for herself as well. Then she went there, found out that Nengi's water wasn't even boiling because the adapter wasn't working. So she was trying to fix in the adapter so that that water can boil fast, because of course it's only when that one boils she can boil her own water and all of that stuff. And then in the process of doing that, yeah, Nengi came out and asked her what she was doing and all of that and called her stupid. Now Kaisha also mentioned to us tonight that she already had a conversation with Nengi about the whole thing, you know, asking her why she would call her stupid and all of that. And then Nengi explained that when she came to ask her the question, Kaisha hissed. Now Kaisha was like, I didn't even know when I hissed and all of that, but then she apologized to Nengi. Of course they asked Nengi and Nengi had the same thing to say, but then Nengi felt like apart from the whole hissing thing, Kaisha said rubbish or something like that, that she should have heard Kaisha murmur something. And Kaisha is like, when I came to speak to you now, you did not tell me that one, you just told me that I hissed and I apologized for it, so why are you bringing up rubbish again? So clearly things were still a little rocky between the both of them, but then I'm just happy that they were able to talk things through. Kaisha apologized, and you know, at the end of the day, that's all that matters to me. Moving on guys, I really cannot count how many messages I've gotten between yesterday and today. Betha, can you tell us what happened between Neo, Kaisha and V? Betha, what exactly is going on between Neo and V and Kaisha? Betha, what is going on between Neo and Kaisha? And I was like, you know what, you guys chill, I'm going to bring the gist to you, and now is the right time for that, okay? I told you guys that from the party, I could see that there was a lot of vibing between Kaisha and Neo. You know, they were grinding, rubbing ash together. I'm like, waiting the apple, something is going on here. And I said it here that when I tell you something, you better believe me, because I don't just say things out of the blue. Me, I know what I'm saying. Number one, Neo remembers the exact color of clothes Kaisha wore the first day they stepped into Biggie's house, but he couldn't remember that of V's. I'm not saying that that means anything or whatever. I'm just telling you that from the beginning of the game, Neo has had a liking for Kaisha, but then it's just something that he did not work on because V was in the picture and all of that stuff. But that doesn't take out the fact that he really likes Kaisha. You know, he likes spending time with her and all of that stuff. Now let me give you another example in case you think I don't know what I'm saying. When the Nengi and Kaisha fight happened yesterday, who did you see Neo trying to hold down? Of course, he was holding his baby girl Kaisha. And I told you guys in my video that yesterday that he was whining her, you know, trying to help her arrange her satin bonnet and all of that. And you know, he was just trying to calm her down, listening to her side of the story. Guess what? If he did not like her at all, he would not be sitting down there with her. I know that Neo can be everywhere. Neo can like to put mouth to people's businesses and all of that. But one would expect him to go and sit with Nengi to find out what was happening. But he chose to be with Kaisha. So you guys should understand that these things did not just happen overnight. This is something that has been there from the beginning. And of course, Kaisha also likes Neo. The fact that she doesn't go about rubbing it in everybody's face that, oh, I like Neo and all of that stuff, she actually likes Neo. But before we get to that Kaisha's part, let me finish with the story I want to tell you people. I told you in my video that V was just carrying face. You know, her face was just straight. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't really happy. And I knew it was because of the whole vibe thing between Kaisha and Neo. Now, after the party, everybody went into the house and all of that stuff. Cool. Next thing, V is just really upset with Neo. She's not talking to the guy. Neo said is not talking to her. You know, he's on his own, she's on her own. Then at some point, I think Prince or Praise, one of these two people came out and said, that something is going on in the room between Kaisha and Neo. Now, Kayode being Kayode, he did not show us what he was. So I don't know if they were hugging or if they were whatever. I don't know what they were doing there. But the point is, something was going on there. Because even when Watoni left and went into that room, she came out smiling. So obviously, something was happening there. Now, clearly, whatever it is that happened really got V upset. Because she was in the kitchen making food for herself and Neo was right right there, also making a pot of noodles for not just himself this time. He actually cooked for himself and Kaisha. Yeah, he did. You know, so it was just really somehow, yeah. Now him and Kaisha sat down, they ate the food and all of that, and at some point they started gisting. At this point, yeah, Tricky T was sitting down there with them, and Neo was asking Kaisha, how bad can you be? You know, how bad? She said, very bad. That she can be bad when she wants to be bad. And I said, like, bad. She said, yes, like, bad. I said, nah, wow. Who shall be all this bad talk on at the talk? If I want to talk something, talk and well, because even if I code down, I go decode down. Now the thing with that, I'll be decoder for this place. Anyways, they had that conversation and moved on from it. Now it was time to go to bed. Neo slept on his bed, V slept on her bed. They did not sleep together on the bed. That's when I knew that, okay, water don't pass Gary. This one, V is not taking it lightly at all. But then the good news is that they made up today, because earlier in the day, I saw V lying down on Neo, you know, they were in the garden, and I think somebody came out and said, what is going on there? So like, yeah, we're having our makeup sex. Of course, they were not having sex. They were just there chilling and gisting together and all of that. So she just said that. So clearly they're good. And again, the person that is causing the problem said don't come up for the house. That's another thing that's paining me about this eviction, that they evicted Kaisha. Kaisha would have given us more drama this week, but now they've taken the girl out. So I don't really understand what's going to happen now. But then I'm certain that Neo and V are good right now, because even during the diary session earlier today, Neo asked Biggie for a favor. You know, he told Biggie that V's birthday is on Wednesday, you know, this coming Wednesday, and he would really love to do something special for her. Aside from the whole cake that Biggie brings into the house and all of that, he wants Biggie to give him flowers to present to V, because V really loves flowers. And he wouldn't mind if Biggie can add a note there so that he can write something special for her as well, aside from the one the other housemates would write and give to her and all of that. He just really wanted her to feel special and all. And then Big Brother was like, Neo, Biggie will look into it. So obviously I know Biggie is going to probably provide him with flowers and all of that stuff. So everything is good in the land of Neo and V. The only thing they pray now be say, make another girl no come chook eye for where Neo did. Because with the way things are going, V can just swear for you. Guys, you need to see the way she was shaking when they called Neo's name for possible eviction. This girl was legit shaking. It was Dorothy that was holding her. Calm down. I say what's happened. I never ever married. Don't they shake like this? You know, relax. Now relax yourself. Now moving on to what Kaisha told Ebuka when he asked her about the whole Neo situation and all. I don't even want to say it. Let me insert the video.
Did you like him?
Of course, yeah, like temporarily.
So you were ready to crush that ship?
Of course.
Is this something that will still happen after the show?
I don't know. Anything might happen.
Watching that space.
When I don't hear everything she talk, but then what is paining me now is that she's out of the house. We really don't know if they're going to pursue whatever it is that they had between them outside of the show. It's going to be a long time. That is if Neo is there till the end of the game. The feelings might have died down. Kaisha might have moved on. I really don't know. I was really hoping that she would be in the house this week just for this particular drama. This one tiny drama. Now ain't big enough to just grant person wish. Anyway, nice. Now, as usual, I came to you guys with the final words from our very beloved Ebuka, okay? Today, Oni talk say, person with the old landlord, not they cook soup with curry because he must to saint, and if he saint, now problem because landlord will hear him. Now, what was he trying to say in essence? He was basically admonishing the housemates, and he was telling them that, see, if you want to play a smart game, play it to a point where even we, the viewers, will not know what your next step will be. Because at the end of the day, you guys are just acting like, oh, you're here to chill, you're here to do this. No, you're here to play a game. And if you feel like you're smart, you want to play a smart game, then make sure to play a smart game till the very last. So that even we, the audience, will not be able to tell what you're up to. And I feel like that's really important. And that's the problem I have with this whole eviction thing. They keep evicting people they consider enemies. They're not evicting their competition. I don't know if they want to carry the 85 million and share it for them as committee of friends. Because that's not what Biggie said. Biggie said one person we win the money. So I don't understand. Maybe if they now keep themselves there to the grand finale, maybe they'll now share the money into whatever amount they want to share. Now them concept, at this point I really don't know. Anyways guys, that's all the gist I have for you in this particular video. If you enjoyed watching it, please don't forget to give me a very big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. And a lot of you keep telling me, Betha, I don't know when your video goes up, I don't know when you post a new video. Please, all you have to do is click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button. That way YouTube will send you a notification when I put up a new video. That's the only way. I don't know, YouTube is not suggesting my videos as much as possible, and I feel like that's the only thing that can help me out. Not just help me out, it will help you out too, because you guys like to listen to me as much as I like to talk to you people. You know, I'm the amebo carrier, you are the amebo receiver. So without the carrier, there's no receiver. Without the receiver, there's no what? There's no carrier. Betha, you're too smart. You're too smart. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely see you guys on the next one. All right, bye guys.